Hello, everypony, Artilisiana here. Link to my Divinian art in the description below and also for my Patreon if you like to do that. Warning, this video will contain one artwork that I made, so if you don't like stuff like that, click away or else stay. Also, it's not going to be MLP related, it's going to be about Devil May Cry. Actually, because I just felt I was going to talk about that. I recently just saw that he's going to compete in a death battle, and I'm looking forward to either if he wins or loses. I really do feel like it could be a very nice battle, but I just wanted to talk about, the artwork that I did here and, Devil May Cry in general, because I have always, played the game and stuff like that. I don't play it anymore. It was when I was younger and I had a very nice, what is that? Well, I was good at the game. I completed, I think it was Devil May Cry 2 and 3, and I had a lot of S's and a lot of good times with the game and the sceneries and all of the nice monsters and designs. One of the things I do remember with the Devil May Cry games is the way that he gets his sword and it goes through his chest and he has to, jag it out and stuff like that. I really was surprised by this when I was smaller, I think. But now I'm like, it was a little bit weird, but I still like it. I remember having trouble with the camera angles in the games, but I always remembered that you just had to take your sword and swing on everything and then you would be okay. Just smash the buttons, or how to say that. And the shooting was also very fun. I remember in the game there were different kinds of weapons, but his pistols was the ones that I loved the most to use, and his iconic thunder sword, or how to call that, was also one of my favorite weapons in games, actually in general. Now I don't play it that much anymore. Nowadays I play Sims, or I play something like Diablo or Warframe or Hearthstone a little bit, maybe StarCraft, Sonic, old games for my, you can play on emulator and stuff. I also play a lot of on my Pokemon X game on my 3DS, but I will say that Devil May Cry, I will not say that I grown out of it, but the newer games I remembered I tried, I think it was number 4, and I was like, this is boring, or this is too, it's too hard for me at that time. I believe if I tried it now I would be like, well, it's fun and stuff like that, but I don't know, I was only there for, number 2 and I think number 3, but I'm not quite certain. I like the new weapons that he got now. I have seen and I have looked up the new weapon gear, and I think that it looks awesome. I think that there's a lot of potential in Dante, even though that he's a little bit of a slug, or how to say that. He's not the greatest role model to go after, but I still feel like he's doing his job and he's doing what he can and trying to save his brother and stuff like that, but that's just later on in the game. Sorry for spoilers, but I also like the factor that he's half demon, and Virtual, his brother, is half angel, or it's the other way around. I can't remember, but I actually loved the background story. Even though it was a little bit messy, I sort of remember all of the background stories and the monsters and stuff like that. I remember one of the things I didn't like in the game was Tifa, the one that comes and was supposed to be Dante's love interest, quote unquote. I didn't like her at all, and when you get to play her, I don't think that she had the greatest way of battling, and she didn't have the greatest choices of weapons, so I wasn't happy about that, I remember, but I soon got to go back and, instead of playing Devil May Cry, I played Diablo, which I'm still playing, and, stuff like Spore and Sonic and all sorts of things. Something I would like to see in, I will not say the Devil May Cry universe, but actually a mixture with, Devil May Cry and My Little Pony, if that is possible, or, Pokemon. I actually feel like there's a lot of potential for mixing different worlds. I already talked about My Little Pony in Diablo. I already talked about, stuff like StarCraft mixed with Pokemon and stuff like that. And I know it's crazy and maybe it's not a good idea. I feel like there's a lot of potential in, mixing games and maybe coming up with your own game. I'm not quite sure, and I'm not a game designer or game developer, so yeah, it's not something that I'm going to make. I'm just thinking that I really love the background story. Something I would also like to see with Devil May Cry actually was a real life movie. I know that it's weird, and I know that it could bomb very heavily, like other films like what am I thinking about? Yeah, something like Spawn, or maybe I'm not sure, but I really feel like Devil May Cry have the potential for being a good movie, and I know that there is an anime, but I haven't seen it yet. And maybe I will go and see it after this and come back and tell you guys what I think. But right now I just have seen the games, and I feel like that is enough. I also remember, finding the god necklace, or how to say that, the ones that transforms him into the demon, and being excited for that when I was smaller. Finding the gauntlets, which punches with fire and ice, or it was lightning, I'm not quite sure. But the most iconic is still the way that he gets his sword when it's run through his upper torso, and he have to pull it out himself with brute strength. And there's lightning inside the sword as well, and yeah, it is just something you can't get out of your imagination or out of your head if you have played the games, and when you were younger everything was more amazing, so I guess that I remember it more fondly than it maybe actually is. But it's like when sometimes I play Diablo 2 again, just for, visiting old times and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, the game is still good, even though, the graphics has been better with Diablo 3 and gameplay and stuff like that, but there's still stuff you can do in the old Diablo you can't in the new, and that is also how I feel like it is with the Devil May Cry games, that it was, cut off for, the good things, or how to say that without being rude. But actually I feel like he has, I will say, he will have a good fight in the death battle with Bayonetta, and later today I'm going to see Game of Thrones, so I can't wait for that and see if my predictions were true. I already said long time ago that I predicted that Jon Snow was going to be a White Walker. I predicted that one of the dragons is going to fall down and become a White Walker dragon or a snow dragon, icy dragon or something. So I don't know about you guys, but do remember to take care of yourself and your loved ones. Do remember that inspiration is right around the corner, and do remember to have fun. Yeah, that's actually all. Okay, yeah. Bye.